Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode on a mother's journey to holistic health and healing. I'm so excited to be here today with today's guest. She is so inspiring, and I met her at a little event that was happening on here in El Paso, and was really just so inspired by her services and what she offers to the community. And when I came across her in one of the events, I just had to go up to talk to her and get to know her and what she was about. And is there a story behind everything? Because I'm just always so curious to learn to know about mothers' stories, especially if they have any healing journeys or health journeys. And so we got to talking, and she, is really going to be here sharing about her story, her healing journey, and it comes to managing, dealing with chronic pain, and how herbal medicine has really become a powerful gift for her in her healing journey, and how she is really just bringing that awareness and sharing that medicine with the community. So we're going to be talking about that. So yeah, I'm excited to bring her on so she can introduce herself. And her name is Gaby. And come on in, Gaby, and introduce yourself and tell us who you are and where you're from. And yeah, take it from there.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. This is my first time in a podcast, so thank you for this experience.
Oh, thank you.
I'm Gabriela Sanchez, and now I'm dedicating my path to share with everybody, the natural medicines that herbs and plants and Mother Earth have for us, and how they help me in my life, in my experiences, and yeah, you can.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So, well, maybe you can tell us about, thank you first of all, for wanting to come on and share your journey. This is your first, your first time. So like, I remember my first time sharing my healing journey and how kind of nerve-wracking that was for me, and how I would go back in my head thinking about, oh, do I want to do it? Do I not want to do it? So I really appreciate you really, being open and vulnerable and kind of just like surrendering to like, yeah, let's be open to sharing it. So thank you so much for being here. Yeah. So tell us about, your background.
Well, actually, I dedicate around 19, 20 years in the beauty industry.
Oh.
I work very close with women all those years, and that helped me to have that insight that I have now, and see how everybody have, the same issues. We can support each other, because sometimes we feel like we have totally different lives, but really we have a lot of things in common.
Yes.
And more in this society that we have, we live, in this culture, this Mexican culture, and we are like always thinking that we need to keep everything ourselves. And that's why I accept to be here, because I think it's time to share, not keep everything myself. Like, I share my remedies, yes, in public, but it's not the same to share like my testimony on my history, right? And well, I think it's time. Well, I used to work in the beauty industry, and let me tell you that it is beautiful and satisfactory, but also is very toxic. And different levels, like you're working with so many chemicals, so many things that are toxic for your body. Yes, I still do my hair, I still do my nails, but it's different that when you're using products and you are breathing all those chemicals every day, all day, is totally different.
Yeah.
Also, well, I've been working always in customer service. I used to work also close with people with Alzheimer, mental issues, taking care of them. And that also give me another view of life, and how, like in your life, you're gonna live so much different lives, let's say.
Yes. Yeah.
So when you're younger, when you're a kid, and then in your
It's always changing.
yes, it's always changing. And that also helped me to see how important is to take care of ourselves, um, since we are little, when we're younger, and be
Mm-hmm.
very conscious about how we live our lives and our mindsets.
Yes.
Also, the things that we use every day, also be conscious about that. Like I
Mm-hmm.
say, I used to work with a lot of chemicals every day, all day, and that also helped me to see the things that I was using every day, cosmetics, shampoos, lotions, all those things. And then you go to your food, and then you see all this processed food and all the pesticides in vegetables and fruits and everything, really.
Mm-hmm.
And so you keep digging and digging and digging in those things, and you start noticing how bad it is. And that's how I start, like, this is not aligned with me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's when I started changing my career,
Mm-hmm.
and I took a very hard decision to leave, all those years and change completely my profession. But it's something that I feel the calling.
Mm-hmm.
I can say it in that way now, but before, when I used to hear people saying like, "Oh, it's because I hear, the calling to do this and to take this journey or path in my life, or I find this purpose." I like I couldn't understand very
You couldn't
well what
relate.
they
Mm-hmm.
mean with that
Mm-hmm.
until it happens to me. And I think that's what it made me change my career from
Mm.
20 years. That
Big
was like
shift.
super hard.
Big
Yeah.
life change.
Yes, and also, clients and family, you have like people that support you and people that are even mad with you because you are changing. And that was
Mm.
hard.
Mm-hmm.
To, to see it, to feel it, to experience that from your own family or your
Yeah.
own clients from a long time.
Yeah.
But also you have that other side of the people that have empathy and that they understand that you are always growing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and if you don't feel aligned with something, it's okay to change and take the decision to do something different. And
Mm-hmm.
I love myself to do it. And now
Mm.
I'm here,
An
running.
herbalist now, herbalist, right? You have your own business,
Yeah.
entrepreneur, local business here in El Paso, and you're
Mhm.
a mom of two teenage older boys, right?
Yes.
Yes. Doing it
Yeah.
all. What a massive, massive transition. And that I'm sure that a lot of women are just going through that shift and change, how in our relationships you can see how, yeah, like you mentioned, some people might not, whether it's quote unquote approve or they're going to judge or they have questions or why, whatever the reason is, why some who feel the need to judge and feel like it's not okay versus the other half, where you really opens your eyes to seeing, I don't know, I guess just that part of those people that you thought were like, I thought you were my family no matter what, or my friend no matter what, right? It's really interesting. Yeah. So, what else do you want to share of what life was like for you before you started your health and healing journey? You mentioned you were in beauty and business and doing hair and things like that. Anything else that you want to share in regards to like maybe in your health, what was going on, or how you were feeling, any
Yeah.
symptoms?
Yes, of course. My health declined like in a way that I never imagined. My mental health, my physical health, and I always been conscious about my health, but I
Mm.
never thought that I was going to get so sick or feeling so bad.
Hmm.
Um,
At what age do you think that it started for you when you really started to feel a change and difference in your
um,
body?
in my 20s, middle
Mm.
20s and
Okay,
late
20s is when it
20s,
started.
is when I start having health issues, and I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia.
Mm.
And since then is when I start, with my healing journey.
Okay.
But also in that time, I used to be married with the that of my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And that relationship brings me like, well, the end of that relationship or my symptoms help me to get out of that toxic relationship.
Mm.
I suffer from domestic violence, and
Mm. Mm-hmm.
a lot of people think domestic violence is just, physical violence, but really it's more than that. It's also psychological, it's emotional, it's big than that.
Yes.
And I suffer many of those, and I start getting very sick.
Mm.
So is when I start noticing that Western medicine or modern medicine it wasn't working for me. I start with painkillers, with antidepressants, anxiety pills, all that
Mm.
kind of medications. And for a long time, I keep looking for answers and help with doctors, all kind
Mm.
of doctors,
Mm-hmm.
specialists, you know, trying to heal in that way. But I noticed that they didn't give me any solution. They were just giving me this band-aid, these pills to just help me with those symptoms. They never
Symptoms.
tried to really like look from the root of the problem, right?
They weren't looking at you as a whole, the whole person, just your physical symptoms, which is like one of the typical things, right, in Western medicine, is that's all they look for, and is the
Yes.
symptoms. They treat the physical symptoms. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. So is when I took responsibility for myself, for my health,
Mm.
and start looking for answers and with doctors. And I start doing my research. And since then, like in 2015, is when I start study.
Okay.
But then when I decide to change my career is like 4 years ago, almost five.
Wow.
Yes, so it's when I took everything more seriously, or when I start being more curious and more in tune, I guess, with this natural medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's when I start getting classes, start studying to be a professional in this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I used to just start in research by myself, buying books and eating every information that I can.
Right? Yes.
Uh-huh.
I can
And
relate to that.
yeah, and experimenting with everything, trying everything. And that's how my curiosity started growing and growing.
Mm.
And I start seeing the results. And I
Wow.
start noticing the benefits of,
Mm.
the plants.
Mm-hmm.
And more that I start learning, more I wanted to to
No
learn.
more. Yeah. Yeah,
I wanted to
exactly.
know everything.
Yes. Why
And,
this and why that? And yeah.
and in the beginning, I kind of saturated myself with so many things. Like, oh my gosh, I want to know this and this and
I
this.
know.
And
Yeah.
then I start getting every kind of herbs that I read about. Some herbs, I want to try it. That's magic herb. I want
Yes.
to try it.
Yes.
And I started doing growing my home apothecary, and I
Nice.
have my collection of herbs.
How beautiful.
And that's how I start experimenting more and learning
Yes.
more, having the tools with me.
Yeah.
And I start doing my garden every year, have my
Beautiful.
little yeah, vegetables and fruits and everything that really bring me joy.
Yeah. So they also uplifted your spirit. Also, they started healing your spirit, your soul,
Yes.
right? Your mental health, your emotional health, this connection with the earth and the
Uh-huh.
plants.
Yes, you really feel
Mm-hmm.
that vibration,
Mm.
that connection, and it's incredible how from not having any kind of beliefs, because I was
Oh,
like completely like I lost faith in everything. I don't
yeah.
believe in anything.
Yeah.
How God is gonna let me suffer in this way?
Yeah.
Why I'm having this horrible pain, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Why I'm suffering so much? And
Yes.
I cannot find any solution, any answers, and medications just make me feel worse. And
Mm-hmm.
they start giving me, you know, another problems. And I start getting very, very sad, not feeling myself. I got in this deep depression for a long time, and I was a functional depressed person,
Yes.
and that was very hard because I have to, you know, pretend that everything is
Right.
fine, go to work,
Exactly.
get home, cook for my kids, and, you know, having a normal life. But really, I was like through my day with these thoughts, you know, like,
Mm.
oh my
In
gosh, I have so
darkness.
much pain, and this is not life, you
Mm-hmm.
know. I don't want to live
Mm-hmm.
like this. And you
Mm-hmm.
start having all those dark thoughts,
Mm.
very intrusive thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you suffer from trauma, and then you have all these, you know, emotions because you don't know that you have all that trauma hold,
Right. You're
holding
not
you back.
aware of it. Yeah.
And then when you start working on that too, well, is it looks like it's getting harder. Like, oh no, I can, like, life really is hard and horrible, and my worries, like, nothing makes sense.
Mm.
But then I start looking more into myself in that darkness. Of course,
Mm.
I was like in a very dark place, but it's when I found myself really, and
Mm.
I guess it was my higher self talking to me, you know, telling
Mm-hmm.
me like, "Hey, nobody's gonna save you. You are the
Mm.
saver, okay?" And
Oh,
that
yes.
changed completely my life,
Wow.
everything. My dark, dark, dark moment in life bring me again to have faith and hope
Mm.
and love for
Mm-hmm.
myself,
Mm.
and to share with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's been a long journey. It's been ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy, but I feel like the plants and medicine, natural medicine, really help with
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Not just to connect with yourself, but with connect with everything.
Yes. Yeah.
Share with other people, with
Absolutely.
the work, and see the value in everything,
Mm.
and the joy in the little things, and
Oh, yeah. You started savoring the littlest moments. Yeah.
just to enjoy that little
Yeah.
wind in your face,
Yeah.
or just to smell the flowers. It brings me so much
Yes.
joy. And now, because I understand and I feel the vibration that they give you,
Mm.
the healing that they have,
Yes.
they are, you know, like masters. They can teach you so
They are
much.
very, very beautiful beings and teachers. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Wow. I think you said something really, really significant that I myself had that realization too. And that just when I have, guests that come on also share the same thing about, no one's going to take care of myself but me, of course, in their own words, like, no one's going to be here to save me but myself, or no one's going to be here to take care of me but me. No one's
Mhm.
going to love me except no love me the way I need to be loved than myself. I just have different variations of it. And I think that's a beautiful, yet also kind of like emotional thing to feel and think at the same time, because at the same time, maybe like when we're younger, or we just have like this idea in our head that there's somebody out there that's going to love me the way I want to be loved, or there's going to be something out there that is going to take care of me the way I want to be taken care of. But that is very, how could I say, kind of like a fantasy, fantasy, because everybody has their own work that they need to do on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so, really, I feel like, in my own personal opinion, that if we really want to be loved the way we want to be loved, our own self, and taken care of, that it starts with us. But that's not to say that we can also receive outside support, right, to help us through it too at the same time. But it starts with ourself, right?
Yes.
So I just want to like point that out there, because I think when we all have that realization on our own, that's the breaking point. Like for you, it was the massive shift that led to your change and your transformation, right?
Yes.
Which is very, very powerful and significant. It's like something so simple, but yet it's very profound. Yeah, absolutely. What else, like what were some of those, maybe you can kind of share, and if you feel like you'd like to share any of like hardest moments in particular that you can recall when you were living with the chronic pain, or like whether it was some of the depression or anything that you felt, that you can recall that you were just like,
Well, when I was like in my lowest point, I guess, with depression and suffering with
Was this
pain.
before you left your partner, or it was after?
That was after, now, like 5 years ago around. I started my business, my salon.
Okay.
And I was very excited, very happy, but also I wanted everything perfect always, that that
I can relate to that too.
yeah. And it took me years to accept that perfectionist, or try to be perfect, is just a blockish. It is just a big wall I put in myself. But well, I was very happy doing that, and then I started working a lot,
Okay.
and I burned out because
Oh.
I started having so much issues with my back, and then I started going to the doctor, and they start giving me so much painkillers,
You were getting back pain when
back
you were working with
pain,
clients
and
throughout your day?
yes, and then standing all day.
Oh, yeah.
So that really affect me. It was like everyday thing. And I
Mm-hmm.
have this big routine to function every morning. Let's say that I have to start at 9. I have to
Mm-hmm.
be at work. I have to wake up like at 6 to get into my heating pad for 30 minutes, and then ice for another 15 minutes probably, and then do some massage
Mm-hmm.
with infused oils to help me with pain,
Yeah.
and then took the pills, take a shower and get ready, eat something very quick, and that was my day. I start working all day.
So you were already working with the plants at that time when you were
Yes, I
just
always
had your business with your salon.
I
Okay.
always been using plants since little.
Mm.
But just to start my day, it was, like a whole journey to start my day.
It took a lot of effort and energy.
Yes, and then I also have to, look presentable because I work in the beauty industry, so I have to look good too. And also that,
The expectation.
yes, also that is a lot of weight on you.
Pressure. Yeah.
Yes, always trying, there is a lot of things that you have to do to look fine or look good, and it's a lot of work. It's not an easy thing. So I start getting very sick, and I start taking more pills and more pills and more pills.
Were you getting sick in the sense of like your pain, or what do you mean by that?
Yes, with pain.
Okay.
And then I have diagnosed that I have arthritis in my back. That's
Oh.
the why I have so much pain.
So
And
on
I was
top of the fibromyalgia, there was also arthritis in your
yes,
back. Okay.
exactly. And then in my hands. So it's just
Mm.
started getting worse and worse. And it's when I start thinking like, you know what? I don't feel this is aligning with me anymore.
Mhm.
I think this is not only a sign for my body telling me that
Oh,
this is not right for
yeah.
you, but it's also
Yes. Oh my God. Hmm.
uh like a big alert that
Yes,
you
from
need
your
to take
body.
care of your body differently.
Yes.
Obviously, what you're
Absolutely.
doing is not working.
Wow.
So is when I start working with plants more, in like in the
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm.
start studying
Okay.
more seriously.
Oh, I see.
Hmm.
Yeah, because that's like the fact that you had that awareness and you connected the dots is really your like literally saved your life too, right? Because I feel like especially us as moms and when we're whether you're an entrepreneur or you're just, you're 9 to 5 or even if you're a stay-at-home mom too, because that's work, that's a full-time job in itself.
Yes.
I feel like, we just push through it. We just push through the pain. We push through whatever. Oh, I'll take care of that later, or I'll go to the appointment and make an appointment to the doctor later, or it'll go away, or like there's always some kind of excuse, or not an excuse, like just something to cover it up. Like it'll get better, it'll pass. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
will just
anything
take
of it.
more
Yeah.
higher dose of this
Yes.
pill and I'm gonna be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, exactly. And then, and then over time, like not even realizing that, oh, like not even asking yourself that question, like, what is it that needs to change in my life? What needs to change? And I think too, like, because of there's so much disconnection that we have in this present moment just because of the crazy like workload that we have and expectations and long work hours and the things of motherhood of drop off the kids, pick them up, cook the dinner, clean the house, like just all like the productivity of everything, right, can burn us out and make us so tired that we don't even really tune in to really checking out like what we're feeling in our body or going to get it checked or making time for appointments to go get checked, right? Because we are really, really, really busy. But again, it's going back to that. If I don't take care of myself, who else is going to do it? Kind of a thing, right? And kind of
Exactly.
remembering that. And it's really hard for like myself too. And for a lot of us, I think as moms is to like keep reminding ourselves like we matter. Who else is going to take care of the kids? Who else is going to do this? Like, but
Yeah, like we
us.
need to slow down too.
Yes, right. So you like, what do you think it was that helped you? I mean, it was obviously like the symptoms that were, coming out to you of the pain and this and that. But what do you think helped you to kind of have that realization of like, this is maybe it's my career, what I'm doing, or like, was there anything else that you thought of that you thought maybe could have caused it or anything like that?
Well, also I start feeling, I'm very patient with people. I've
Mm-hmm.
been always very natural to talk with people and with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And usually they feel very comfortable with me and they open up very
Mm-hmm.
easily with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I start getting also issue with that. Like I was
Mm.
like, you know what? I'm getting mad with people very easily. I don't
Oh.
feel like I'm patient anymore with my clients. Like
Oh,
we have a
wow.
special clients, and you know what I mean with special.
Yeah. They'll pay whatever. They don't care.
I just start,
Mm,
you
that was a
know,
red flag for you too, about how you were
yes,
feeling when you were working with them, your mood, your ability, your frustration, your energy.
exactly. Yeah, my energy. And I start noticing that I need more time to recover my
To
energy
take
from
care of
work.
yourself.
Huh?
Yes, yes, yes,
And
yes.
and it's just like getting harder and harder. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I just start like, it's just no, I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel good. I feel mad. I don't feel happy anymore doing
Yeah.
it. It
Yeah.
used to bring me, so much joy
Mm-hmm.
to see happy, when my to see my clients happy with the results of my job. But then lately it was pain, and then also
Mm.
all the emotional weight that your clients bring to you, because you are
Oh
also
my goodness. Yeah. That's like a therapy session for some people.
so I
They come with
actually
the
I have
chisme.
history. Yes. I was therapist and hairdresser, so it just keep getting, difficult and more difficult to me to be with people and
Mm.
that way.
Mm-hmm.
And also I like, I need a long time. I need a little break.
Yeah. You were
And
working hard for so long to get your business going and then get your clients and have your clients all day and get your money, make money,
yes, and it's
support
a
your
lot of
family.
stress. Yes, like you said, all the work that you need to do in your house. And
Mm-hmm.
then also you have your own business, and when you have your own business, sometimes, well, you do everything, like really
Mm-hmm.
every cleaning, administration, like you do everything.
You do it all. Yeah.
Yes. So it is a lot of stress, it's a lot of weight on your shoulders. And sometimes you need to take a break. And when I took that break, I had to, get that courage and accept that that career is not connecting with me, is not in tune with me anymore. And yes, I still like everything about the beauty industry, but not to work in the same way, at least.
Mm-hmm. Because it
I
was affecting you. Yeah.
Yes, I
Your
think
health.
now it is a new movement of holistic hairdressers and or hairstylists, and I really like that. And so I've been thinking about it to
Oh,
still, you know,
how could you
have
change the
exactly,
industry in that way
exactly. So
and
just
how you
change,
serve?
the way that you
That's
do your
beautiful.
service.
Yeah.
And I love to do my products, and I have a new product that is oil for your hair and for your scalp.
Mm-hmm.
And I can really do, my own products to offer to people,
Mm-hmm.
but I would like to do it in a holistic way, and
Yes.
so in more energetic beauty,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
because you know how hair is connected also with your energy.
Yes, for sure.
So
That's
I don't
amazing. That
know.
is so exciting to have that idea or that dream as that maybe next steps. Like maybe this can still tie in what you love, but just in a way that's more aligned for you now and respectful of your body and your health. I
Exactly.
love that. That is, I will come see you.
Thank you.
I'll be one of your first customers for those. That is so amazing. So, what was that transition like for you when you went from like closing your business and moving into your studies and opening up your new business now, Raiz Botanicals?
It was very complicated. I have to move from my comfort zone completely, like my privacy, and it's okay, and now I understand that it's important to share your experiences, because that motivates me to see, another business owners doing the job. And that's why I'm thinking like, yeah, probably I can motivate somebody too.
Mm-hmm.
um
Well, it also
I
gives people hope too. You know, your story and your experiences helps somebody else. It's medicine too for other
yes,
people.
like sometimes you are not aware of your own life, like yes, you are
Mm.
aware about your conscious or whatever, but not really how far you've been,
You've come.
and the things that you've been doing, and
Yes.
when I realized those things, I moved to this country without knowing any English or just a little
Wow.
bit. And then you suffer for everything. You miss your
Mm.
city or your
Hmm.
culture.
Where did
Like
you come from? Where did you leave? Where were you born?
Juarez, but
What is?
still it's different to
Mm.
live
Yeah,
here.
of course.
Everything is different. We live in the
Yes.
border, but
Mm-hmm.
school, everything is different
A
in
hundred
Mexico.
percent. Yeah.
Yes. So
Totally
yeah,
different way of living. Yeah.
so it was hard for me, that transition, and then also start working here and then start learning English. I have to get out of my comfort zone so many times
Mm.
that now is like, okay, I'm gonna do it again. I'm just gonna do
I'm gonna do
it.
it. Yeah. You feel
uh,
it when you're like, okay, yep. Okay,
yes,
let's
and
do
then
it
I
then.
see myself, that younger self
Mm.
doing those things with a lot of fear, but I still, I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what keeps motivating
Mm-hmm.
to do what I'm doing. Is just look in my past and see, well, that time I didn't have any hope.
Mm-hmm.
That time I didn't have the
Mm.
tools that I have now. In the time I was younger, alone, all those things. And I did it. And I feel proud of that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Definitely should be. Yeah.
yeah, and then now I'm like, okay, I need to accept that I did those things and now I can do whatever I want, whatever I want to do. I just
Yeah.
need to do it,
Yeah.
get out of that
One
comfort
foot in front
zone.
of the other.
Yes. So yeah, the transition, it is hard, it's uncomfortable, very uncomfortable because it's like, oh, you need to do things that you don't wanna,
Yeah.
that you never done before.
Right.
But I just feel like so in tune with what I want to do. And when the opportunities start coming, I just, yes, yes, I'm going to do it. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If I think I'm going to start putting those walls again, that,
Mm.
perfectionist
Mm-hmm.
and all those
That
things
part of you. Mm-hmm.
that are not going to help me to grow.
Yeah.
So not anything have to be perfect. I can
Good.
fix
Yeah.
it, later if I need to, or I can change it.
Yeah.
And that's how I start Raiz. I start taking those doubts of my
You
mind or
start it with your mindset and talking to yourself more compassionately.
exactly. So I really feel that we need to understand that is in ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, our people around us can help us, can motivate us, and say, you are amazing cooker, or oh yes, you are so good in this or in that. But you are like, really?
Me?
I don't
You think so?
So you start like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, so probably it's not, probably it's true. And
Mm. You start
and then
believing in
start
yourself
believing in
more.
yourself and start
Mm-hmm.
loving more yourself.
And
And
confidence too.
yes,
More
and plants,
belief.
and herbs and plants can help you to
Mm.
reconnect with yourself. That is the
Yes.
great thing that I experimenting with plants or
Yeah.
working with them, that they help me to see the beauty that is in them. I see in myself.
Mm.
The
Oh, I love that. The beauty I see in them, I see in myself. Oh, I love that. It's so beautiful.
yeah,
That
like
should be a quote.
thank you. You read about one herb, and then you see all the benefits and you say, like, but how this herb can help you with tummy ache, how can
Right?
help you with your mental health,
Yes.
and with this thing or with your eyes or something like
Right.
that. And then you start realizing, like, you know what? I'm the same. I'm not only one thing. I'm
Mm.
so many things, and I can.
Multidimensional.
Yes, and I can do so many things. And then when you start accepting that, when
Yeah.
you start accepting also all you're gifted with, that's spiritual part of yourself, and
Yes.
I was completely lost, to be honest.
Yeah. You
Um,
regained your spirituality through your work as well. And you
exactly.
reconnected with plants. Mm-hmm.
Plants help me to reconnect with that spiritual side because they show me that
Mm.
spiritual side of them. And I was like, you know what? I have it too. And when you connect and when you are in tune with your instincts, with your intuition,
Intuition. Mm-hmm.
um, everything is start working like in your life so different.
Mm.
You start seeing life also in a different
Differently.
way. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of things that I used to do, they are not, you know, in tune with me
They're not
anymore.
aligned anymore.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a completely different person now.
I'm sure you are. You're a different
Yeah,
version of yourself than you were 10
but
years
also,
ago,
yes, but also
5
I
years ago.
feel reconnected with my inner child, you know.
Mm.
And I
Oh, I
feel
love
that
that.
is also a very important
Very
piece
healing.
in your healing path
Oh my
in
gosh,
everybody.
yes.
Like
Yes.
everybody can be so benefit if you can connect with your inner child again
Mm-hmm.
because it brings you so much joy. Like really we need to have like that spirit of a
Mm-hmm.
child and
Mm-hmm.
see all
Oh,
the
yes.
little things, you know, the beautiful things in the world,
Yeah.
and be more grateful and enjoy
Yeah.
it, you know,
Yeah.
it is here for us.
I love that. Were there specific moments or like a specific plant or herb or anything that you can recall that you feel has helped you heal our inner child, but yeah, that you have that connection with, or that you can recall like, oh, wait a minute, what just happened here? I'm just curious if there were any moments or experiences like that for you or any particular plants.
Well, I have a few, but I grew up with my grandma, and she
Mm.
took care of me when I was little, when my parents work, and
Mm-hmm.
so she always have this beautiful garden with herbs, with fruit,
Mm.
trees and flowers, and
Mm-hmm.
she always have hierbabuena or
Mm.
sperm.
Mm-hmm.
And my cousin and
Mint.
I, we grew up together, and we used to eat the hierbabuena from my grandma's all the time, every day.
Mm.
We were like just like getting the little leaves and
Yeah.
eat it. And then my grandma getting mad with us, like, don't finish it all. You're gonna kill my plant. It's just a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, hierbabuena is for me like
That
a
reminder.
master, yes, and
Mm.
it just brings me so much joy to eat
Me
it
too.
because it brings me like in those days, you know, playing
The
in my grandma.
memories.
Yeah.
Mm. That's so beautiful. Yeah, I feel the same way, and it's that way for me
Yes.
with manzanilla with my grandma.
Oh,
Anytime my
yes.
stomach hurt, manzanilla, ¿qué es el manzanilla?
Yes, I have that connection.
Yeah.
Manzanilla reminds my mother also for that, for
Oh,
the tummy
yeah.
ache,
And
and
oatmeal,
my eyes.
and your eyes all, and also oats because I remember grandma would always make me oats, oatmeal, avena con, canela y
Yes.
even when I remember I had a chicken pox and I think she put me in a bathtub with oatmeal and oats and I remember that too. So those are a lot of the things that I
To help you
remember
with
my
your
grandma too,
sugars.
but that is so beautiful. I love that.
Yes.
I'm just barely starting my journey to reconnecting with plants. So the interesting thing is like before I had my son 8 years ago, that's kind of, yeah, more or less is when I kind of started my healing journey a little bit before that. But this is when I started getting back into my meditation practice and meditating outside near the tree where I used to work. There used to be really big trees. And so I used to go out there and just meditate and by the trees and things like that. And I don't remember how it started, but I got some books on plant consciousness at that time, and I was looking at courses, online courses, to see where I could take courses for herbalism. And I was thinking about maybe I'm not going to be a dietitian anymore. I don't want to work here anymore. Like just having those same things of like you want something else, you want to do something different. It's not as happy, you're not feeling as happy, energetic about the work anymore. So I just started thinking about what could I do different. And then I had my son, and then I don't know what happened. I guess I totally forgot about everything. I totally forgot the reading of the book. I totally forgot about herbalism and tuning into the plants and relating to the plants. I got pregnant with my son and had a lot of issues with miscarriages and was really just caught up in fear and uncertainty about the pregnancy, that I think that consumed a lot of my energy, where I didn't go back to it
Yeah.
until now. And now that I've had my girl. So flash forward almost 8 years later, I am now coming back to, just rediscovering them. Like you said, like getting excited about collecting my own herbal pantry and,
Yes.
building up a different variety of them and learning about them and reading about them. And not just that, but it's the medicine and working with them, right? Like from
Yes.
smelling them, from touching them, from the medicine that provides not just on your skin and for your physical symptoms, but for your mental health, your spiritual health, and your lineage, your ancestors with your grandmothers. Like there's just so much connection that's all weaved into it. I feel
Uh-huh.
like that has such a powerful impact in our well-being all around. That's why it's like a holistic, or truly a
Yes.
holistic healing way of living with plants and this connection
Mhm.
to it.
Yeah, it's because it's natural. That's where we came
Hmm.
from, for nature.
Exactly.
And that's why
Our
we
mind.
feel so good when we are in nature because
Yeah,
that's our natural habitat, not to
exactly.
be under blue lights all day.
Right. And
And
medications. And yeah, this is
yes,
what they practice, this is what our ancestors, indigenous for years and years practiced until, like the Europeans and early colonizers who really wanted to take credit for their work or
ex-
just saw it as like, no, you can't do that here, as witchery or as like brujeria or whatever. Like it was
uh-huh.
deemed as wrong, right? And so our ancestors over the time may have been forced or would put like to death for putting these practices in, right? And so I think I feel hopeful. Like this is why I am also stepping into this now path, is because I do it also for my children. I do it also for my children because I feel like I want to pass this on to them and their kids if they have kids, and generation to generation. Be that abuela if I make it that far later down in life. I mean,
Yes.
I will, because I'll have the connection. I'll have the plants, right? Las plantas, and that's why I also do it. I also do it for that too, because I feel like that connection was lost somewhere in our ancestry, in our lineage, where I feel like that's my calling there, to bring it back into our family. And that's one of my callings. So just wanted to share that. Sorry, everybody. Off track.
No, no, yes, it's true. I feel the same.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, wow. So, okay, got a little off track there, but yeah. Oh, we were talking about inner child healing. That's right. That's what we were talking about. Was there any other, like, any people or anyone who inspired you that kind of like gave you that faith, or what maybe gave you that faith to explore a new path? Any people or anything that helped you kind of, yeah, just inspired you to be like, we're gonna do this path instead.
My grandma. She's not here
Yeah.
anymore, but she,
Mm,
I think,
yes.
sorry.
It's okay. They hold special
Get
places in our
emotional.
hearts. I feel the same with my grandma too.
Yes, I feel like she is my biggest connection
Mm,
with my roots, and she is my inspiration. Um, I I have this product that I name it Abuelita Balm with the
mm-hmm,
help of my friend Joanna Amorna Wali. I was talking to her. She also is a medicine woman, and I was telling her like, you know what? Like I made this pomada, but I don't want it to call pomada because I don't like the other names in English, and so I
yeah.
don't know what
You wanted it to
how
be meaningful.
how to name it. I was like, I have this
Mm,
product and I cannot put it there because I don't have a name and I want to have a name. And then I told her like I wanted to call like abuelita or abuela or grandma or something like that because my grandma inspired me to do this and
mm-hmm.
using herbs that she used to use for
Yeah.
her arthritis.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want her there.
Mm.
And then she goes, Abuelita Bomb. And immediately when she sent me the name, I love it. And I was like, you
Um,
are amazing.
yeah.
I love
I
your
love
fruit.
that.
And so now I have the Abuelita Balm and it's doing very well. And I'm so happy
Mm-hmm.
for that. And I have to mention that another plant that I really feel that it helps me in the transition of leaving painkillers and start getting, pain control with natural remedies,
Mm-hmm.
is cannabis. It's
Mm.
another herb, it's another plant that have a lot, like
Medicinal purposes. Yeah, absolutely.
But also people start putting this plant like it's super
Oh
bad
yeah,
and
there's a lot of misconceptions and beliefs about
exactly.
it.
And really we need to educate more people and know that, everything in excess, or if you have too much of something, is always
Mm-hmm.
gonna hurt. Always.
Mm-hmm.
It, no matter what it is,
Yeah, it's out of
it can
balance. Mm-hmm.
excess. So if you're abused of something, obviously it's gonna hurt. Or it's gonna do something to you that probably is not something that you're looking for. But also, if you know how to use plant medicine, you can have so much benefits from them. You
Yeah,
can use it in so many ways. My grandma used to make this like tincture,
a tincture. Mm-hmm.
but only it's a topical
Okay,
like
a
tincture.
topical tincture. Oh.
That she used to use for arthritis pain.
Mm.
So she used to suffer for arthritis in her hands and you know, in different parts of her body. And she used to use the cannabis and she put a lot of different herbs
Wow.
and barks and different
Oh,
plants
okay.
and
Uh-huh.
roots too into that alcohol, and then she leave it in the closet for 4 weeks
Was
and
she
then
also an herbalist or an herbalista también? No,
no,
she did
grow up
yours.
in the ranch. When you grow up in a ranch, you are totally connected with plants. His father, he was a farmer,
Mm.
so she was so good and so connected with earth that if
Mm.
she just sprinkles some seeds on dirt, next day she have a plant. She was amazing. She was that good.
Oh.
And so, she used to do this alcohol with all those plants, and that was my inspiration to do the
Mm.
abuelita
The
balm.
herbalita balm.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing. I use CBD only because, it's
Oh.
not legal
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
Texas to use the whole plant.
Right.
But if I could use the whole plant, I will use it because
Mm-hmm.
it's really good for pain
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of things too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, but yeah, it's one of the other plans that I feel that it helped me to not only connect with my grandma, but also it helps me to manage my chronic pain
Mm-hmm.
and your mental health too. It's
Yes.
very important to say it that this plan have a lot of
A
mental
lot of health benefits.
emotional benefits
Well,
for
that's
you.
holistic benefits. Yeah. Oh,
Yes, so you can use it topical, you can drink it, you can
mm-hmm.
smoke it, you can do a lot of things.
Edibles. Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's an amazing plant. It just, I suggest people to always take responsibility of
Mm.
your health
Mm-hmm.
and and inform yourself, educate
Educate.
yourself. Uh-huh.
Yes. Yes,
And
education. It's important.
uh-huh. And then try and experiment if it's something and if it's a plan that can help you. I totally recommend it for people that is suffering from chronic pain. It is one of the principal plans that help me to manage.
That's what I was just going to ask you. In addition to cannabis, have there been any other plants that you noticed, or maybe it's the combination that you were like, wow, this is really helping me with my pain? And you noticed a big difference and shift over time?
Yes, what been using cannabis in different ways,
Mm-hmm.
but also gobernadora or creosote
Mm.
or
Oh,
chaparral.
yes. Yes. I've been working with the criosote también.
It's
Yes, it's so
amazing
healing.
for yes, it's amazing for your bones. It's amazing for pain. So if
And
anybody is
liver.
suffering from pain
Mm-hmm.
or for arthritis, it is another plant that I recommend to start working on it and see if it's something that is in tune with you. That
Mm-hmm.
is also important to know. I like to teach people that you can connect with plants and know that if that plant is what you need in
It's
the
for
home.
you. How do you
Uh,
recommend that?
yeah, well, we are energetic beings,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
plants also have this energy. We are
Yes.
all vibrations. So we
Yes.
can ask directly to the plant, literally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can use, and it's very easy exercise that you can
Like a
do.
meditation.
Yeah, you just have to ask your body, you close
Mm-hmm.
your eyes, and you ask your body that, let's say that you're gonna pick air. You
Mm-hmm.
have herbs to work for pain, and you want to know if you're in tune with one of those.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're gonna do is close your eyes and talk with your body
Mm-hmm.
and get in tune with your
Mm-hmm.
body. Listen to yourself, and you can do first the exercise of what is a yes and what is a no, and your body is
Mm.
gonna move. Probably it's
Yes.
gonna go forward or it's gonna go backwards a little bit. You're gonna
Yes.
do a little
Your
bit.
own pendulum. It's a
Exactly. You
human
are.
You're the
Yes.
pendulum.
Uh-huh.
I love that.
Yes, and it's super easy, and you can do it in the
Mm.
supermarket for your food or for whatever.
Yeah. To help you with your decisions. I love
Exactly.
that.
So
That's so
sometimes that you don't know
beautiful.
if something is good for
For
you or
you.
you have
Yes.
too many options and you are
Right.
confused.
That is
Uh-huh.
such a practical, yes. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yes.
I'm sure we'll definitely all try that. I will as well. That is so beautiful because sometimes I feel like I get in my head too, as I'm like, just stay there long enough to feel some kind of energetic, how to say, just feeling something energetic wise. That's
Like
all
a
I can
shift or
explain.
something.
Yeah, that's all a vision or just a feeling or I don't know,
Mhm.
just something like that is kind of like how I've been seeing it. But it could be something just simple as that. Like, and that's
Aha,
one of the things
because
that I have is I get too much in my head. That's one of my things.
exactly.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got to
Yeah,
be
it helps
tuning
you.
into our body more.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, I love
And it
that.
helps you to connect also with the plant.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for
And
sure. But
yes,
that relationship.
uh-huh. And I feel that it's very important to be conscious
Mm-hmm.
of whatever you're gonna do with that plant. If you're gonna do make a tea, or if you want to infuse that herb in oil on make a tincture, is for respect from beginning. Principal thing for respect. I like to connect with the plant, and I like to ask permission to use the plant,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
to be grateful with them. And like if you're gonna cut, you know,
Mm,
area, whatever plant that you have,
mm-hmm.
first to ask permission to do it.
Yes.
I like to tell them and touch the place or the piece that I'm gonna take and say, I'm gonna take this part,
Mm-hmm.
and I ask very respectfully if I can use it
Mm-hmm.
for medicine,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, and I like to touch the part that I'm gonna cut,
Mm-hmm.
so the energy of the plant goes to the other
Mm.
part of the plant, and
I
so when you
love
cut
that.
that part, the
That's
plant
beautiful.
doesn't have, like any
Missing. Like it doesn't feel like
no
something's
pain or
missing.
whatever.
Oh,
Yes.
I love that. So
Yes.
thank you for so much for sharing that. That is so beautiful. I love that. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you is at what point did you realize that your recipes weren't just like supporting your own healing, but that they could also help others?
When my family and my friends start asking me for more.
Did you tell them, here, I made this and this? Let me know how it goes. Because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just like,
I'm
let
a
me know how this
giver.
works.
I'm a giver, so every
Yeah.
time if I'm talking with somebody and they say like, "Oh, I'm
Try
having
this.
this pain in my knee," or "I cannot sleep," or
Mm.
okay, I take
See what I
notes.
can come up with for you. Yeah.
Next time that I see them, oh, here, I have
Mm,
this, try
mm,
it, see if it help you. So
mm,
usually they don't have to ask. I just do things for them and give it to them. And
mm.
they're like, oh my gosh, I don't have pain anymore. Can you give me more? I love it. And,
Aw.
I just start like, really?
And then you were like, okay. And more and
Uh-huh.
more asking for it. Maybe I can just. So when you left the salon, were you already in your head thinking I'm going to make this a business, or you already were making tinctures, medicines, and you were offering them to your family and your friends, and then you started your business?
I was already doing things, yes.
Okay.
I started doing tinctures and oils.
Mm.
but I started doing it for
For
myself.
yourself. You're
Help me.
self-healing first.
Uh-huh. And then sometimes when I talk with clients or family,
Mm.
was like, oh yeah, now I'm doing this, and yes, I noticed, that I'm getting better. And they were like, oh, I read about it. I want to try it too, but I don't know how. And so I
Mm.
started, being like the educating everybody. I
Mm-hmm.
started educating everybody when I start talking about that,
Mm.
and so they also start asking me like, oh, do you know what is good for
Mm.
anxiety?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what is good for this? I don't want to take pills.
Mm.
And it's when I start like, it is a big necessity of natural remedies,
Mm-hmm.
and also to have a product that you can trust,
Mm.
that that is only, those ingredients that are
Yes.
coming
Oh
from
my
a
gosh.
good
Yes.
source, that is not
Yes.
anything added through flavors, and
Mm-hmm.
even in they say it's organic and
Yeah.
100% natural, and then they
Right.
put natural flavors, but they
Yeah.
don't specify what is.
Yes, exactly. You know what? That is another podcast episode, but yes. I mean, that's another thing that me and my husband are just like, no, like we're gonna make whatever we can make at home, and like I made my own first batch of soap for the first time, and
Yeah, that's
just little
exciting.
things, like I made my lip balms, like things that we spend money on that actually add up because they are expensive, and then you
Mm-hmm.
think about all these big corporations that they all own all of these big, like these big corporations own these big stores, these big companies, and
Mm-hmm.
then they just all feed off of all of each other, all the money. And I'm like, you know no wonder we're not like connected and doing our own things, is because it's just there and they're charging so much for it, or it's not expensive and they have a bunch of toxic ingredients in some of the things,
Unnecessary.
but when you're making your own things and you're creating them, you know what you're putting in them, and of course looking from a reliable source where you're gathering your ingredients from too, right? That also makes a difference if you're not growing them from your home. But it's a total it makes a big difference in terms of like when you're preparing it on your own in your home versus not that there's any judgment for buying them at the store, because of course I still buy things at the store,
Yes.
some shampoos or whatever, right? But
Uh-huh.
whatever we can do on our own is a plus, is a benefit. Anything that we can
Mm-hmm.
do on our own. Yeah, I love
Yes.
that.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was another like motivation to start my business. That I was going to know exactly that I was going to take care of that.
Yeah.
Uh, just in the way that I love myself and that I want
Mm.
the best for myself, I want the same for my brand.
Oh
I
yeah.
want to
Oh, I love that.
people to know that
Yeah.
whatever you are buying from me is not just intentional and made with love, but I know that is the highest quality, and
Mm-hmm.
is the hygiene, the everything.
Yes, everything, the whole procedure, the whole, all that
Exactly.
it takes, the process that it takes from
Mhm.
the moment of the intention that you're having, from ordering the herbs to how you're going to prepare it, to everything that you put into it, your intention into it, which is not found if you go to the store, obviously.
Uh-huh,
The market.
exactly. And then
Yeah.
I offer, small batches of product because I can guarantee,
Mm.
doing it that way, that they are gonna be full of intention and
Mm-hmm.
quality. And
Yes. Mm.
so that's why I like to do it in that way.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would like to grow in the future, but always like keeping that essence or that care in my
Mm-hmm.
products.
Yeah, it's important to you. It's one of your
Mhm.
values. It's something that's important to you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I love that. If you could go back to the version of yourself who was, in the pain and the chronic pain years ago, or through the domestic violence, the years of that, and the pain, just all of that, what do you think you would tell that version of you?
You're not alone.
Mm.
You're not alone. You've never been. And just, like, just remember that always, that that you have this higher self. It can be God, it can be the universe, whatever you believe. But it's very important that you believe in yourself, that you love yourself,
Mm.
and just like remember that you are powerful, that you are a creator. Um, as like women, I feel that we create life. If you create life, we create everything.
Mm.
So don't put limits in your mind, in your heart. I think that is a very strong message for myself, like
Mm.
don't put those walls, they don't exist. You're putting
Mm.
we are our hardest critics.
Critics.
Yes.
Yes, you're right.
and, and that's not helpful. We need to be more
Hmm.
with ourselves, and
Yeah.
just in the way that we give life to our children, and give love and care and healing and all those things that we give to them, is
Yes.
the way that we need to see ourselves. If you cannot
Ourselves.
see yourself, in that moment of darkness, if you cannot see yourself in that way, just remember yourself in a baby and give
Mm.
to that baby, because you deserve that. Yeah, and we are like women, naturally we are creators and healers.
Mm-hmm.
So just believe and remember that you have
Mm.
that power, and heal yourself.
I love that. And that message for your past version of yourself is just for everybody listening. Because that was going to be my next question. What would you like to say to the women listening today? But there is no need for that because you just said it all just now. I love that. It's so beautiful. And you're right, because in our darkest of moments where where we can't see the faith, or we don't have the hope, or we don't have that compassion towards ourselves, or we have guilt, or we have blame, or we have shame, or fear, or whatever, right?
Hmm.
Whatever it is, that lack of self love, or maybe it's there. We just don't know. We haven't felt it, right? And so I love that of what you shared of, go back to when you would think of yourself as a young child or even a young baby, because you're right, we do naturally offer that. When we see a baby or we see someone little, like we have that genuine, nurturing love for them right away. And that makes sense. Like, oh, let's go back to look at yourself when you were just a baby. Like, can you at least hold that space for your love back then, and have that same hope to carry you through your journey? I love that. Thank you. That is so beautiful. Well, what's one or a ritual that you want to share? A ritual, a practice, or like herbs that you it's like your go to, that's what helps you feel grounded. It's what helps you get through the day. Like, what is that for you? And maybe it changes, just anything that you want to share that comes to your mind.
Yeah. Every morning, my cacao with mushrooms. Yes, it took me a year to
To
my
get your recipe that you
if I get
wanted.
it to
Oh,
that point, it took me
yeah,
a
I worked
year,
hard. Mm-hmm.
but trials and trials. Yes, I like to start my day with cacao and mushrooms, and it's something that if I have, to work very early, doesn't matter. I have to wake up 2, 3 hours earlier. I'll do it because I have to have the time to start my day.
Mm.
Something just like from 15 to 30 minutes I reserve in the beginning of my day just for that,
Mm.
to drink my cacao. Every morning I intention my cacao for the day.
Bless
Usually,
it.
and I, you know, first I say thank you for the medicine, and to help me to connect with myself and
Mm.
to ground during the day, to give me the energy and the focus that I need
Mm-hmm.
for my work, and just intentionally with a lot of love, self-love, and repeat it to myself every day. I've been working, I'm still working in that. I think that is like a plant that you have to watering, you have to
Oh,
give
yeah.
that
It's
love
an
every day.
ongoing practice for sure.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So I love
Training.
put that intention of love to myself,
Mhm.
and to start the day in that way.
It's again, as us busy moms, like we can often tell ourselves, I don't have time, because we think maybe we have this idea in our head that has to be long, but it doesn't. Giving yourself just 5 minutes, a minute to breathe and pause, like you said, feel
Mm-hmm.
a breath of air, enjoy your cup of coffee, enjoy your tea, enjoy your, yeah, your cacao, anything, your walk, anything, right? Giving ourselves
Yes.
just a few minutes for our own self, our own being, our own soul, our own spirit. Yeah.
Yes, because you really you need to have an intention for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And
Intention,
that's
yes.
part of the disconnection that we're suffering right now, that
Yes.
we don't do anything with intention.
100%. I totally agree.
And so now I like to be more conscious and more intentional through my day and with my life and with
Yes.
everything that I do and everything that I said.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm not perfect, but that helped me to set a mindset, to try to do better.
Yeah. And not only that, but you're also giving yourself time to slow down. You're giving
Yes.
yourself time to slow down, which is also necessary for our nervous system, whether it's we're
Mhm.
suffering from anxiety, from trauma, PTSD, fight or flight, like motherhood, like just survival mode. It's
Yes,
really helpful to slow down and be intentional when it comes to even just washing your hands or taking a shower or washing the dishes, doing something with intention to just slow down really helps, is really healing in itself.
it is. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much, Gabby. And last question I have for you is, where can the listeners connect with you? Where can they find you if they want to explore your beautiful healing creations and your offerings?
Well, the best way to get some of my product is through my website, raizbotanicals.com, .com.
I'll put it
Uh,
in the description, everybody.
Thank
Yeah.
you. And also you can find me in social media and Instagram and Facebook, like Raiz Botanicals.
Okay.
But the best way to have a personal connection with me is finding me in the events and
Yes. Like I
the
was lucky too.
markets. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way also, if you haven't tried any of my products and you're not
Mm-hmm.
sure if you're gonna like it, or you're gonna, you never tried before natural remedies, I invite you to go to these events, and I always offer, test
Samples.
or
Yeah.
samples
They're
of
delicious. You have to find her at the different events. So like the holistic mercado or anything that's popping up, you look up on social, look her up on social. I'll put the link in the description. That way you can follow her immediately and check out her
yeah,
website and all the beautiful healing medicine she has and teas. They are so delicious and beautiful and really, really heart connecting too. And so yeah, you guys can go check them out for everybody here in El Paso. And if you're not in El Paso, again, do you ship nationwide? Like,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
okay. So you guys are lucky because she does that as well. Okay. Awesome.
Yes, and
Wow.
we're from everywhere.
Okay. Well,
And
we're
I
so.
also have my products available in Ciudad Juarez too.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay. That is
So you can
beautiful.
also find it in Juarez, in Casa Amora,
Oh,
and
okay.
there is a holistic house that you can find also different classes. They
Oh,
have different therapists, psychologists, and they
oh,
offer
that's
different
wonderful.
holistic practices too.
What was it called?
Casa Amora.
Casamora. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, wow. What an incredible conversation, Gabby. Thank you so much for your time and for everybody listening. Thank you, Gabby, for being so open about your journey and the pain, everything that you went through, all your healing, where it's, led you to now working with the beautiful medicine of plants, how it's guided you into this new chapter of your life and to maybe, and to continue to grow, right? Because it doesn't stop for you here. There's so much
No.
more, I'm sure, in the future for you. But just as a really reminder for us all, right, that it's a reminder that healing is possible and that, just really connecting with nature and plants in itself is just very healing. And yeah, if y'all want to learn more about Gabby and her beautiful healing medicines, again, I'll put the link in the description so you can support her and her work. Go out to see her in the markets or in the events that we're having in El Paso. Follow her Instagram so you can keep in touch with her to find out where those are. But yeah, as always, everyone, thank you so much for listening. You all take care, and I'll see you on the next one.